Hello everyone and welcome back to the Saints View, the channel for Southampton content as we look ahead to Saturday's big game at St. Mary's against Jose Mourinho's Manchester United. Now, of course, we'll just go back quickly to the last game, which was Tuesday night's cup exit at Leicester. It was a 0-0 draw, very promising performance, and I think the players can hold their heads high, the ones who played of course. And what it also does, which I mentioned in my match review a couple of days ago, is that it gives Mark Hughes a selection headache. Yes, he is still manager, he will be managing this game. Don't expect the club to make a statement anytime soon. He's going to be manager for this one at least. Now, I think Yannick Vestergaard was excellent. I thought Jan Valery had a good debut. Obviously, Højbjerg and Lamina usually pretty solid. Armstrong. And Redmond was the man of match. So, I think Mark Hughes has a bit of a selection headache, as I said before, definitely in terms of his defence. Does he return to a back five like we saw against Leicester and in the other cup games, and we also saw earlier on in the league season? For me, I wouldn't. I would stick to a 4-3-3, which we tried against Watford. I thought that worked. But what I would definitely take from the Leicester game is put Yannick Vestergaard in. We have to put Yannick Vestergaard in. You know, Wesley Hoyt has had his chance. He hasn't really taken it. He had one good performance and then 4 awful ones. You know, he's very inconsistent, and yes, people argue that Vestergaard is just slow, but I remember when we first signed him, or when we were linked with him, there was a stat that came out. I think he was top 3. He might have even been top in the entire Bundesliga for combined tackles and interceptions. He knows how to defend. He can put his body in the right place. Maybe he's a bit slow getting back if he went forward a little bit. Obviously, he doesn't have the pace, but I think we need him. I think we need the physical presence. I mean, the guy is the tallest outfield player in the Premier League. Yes, we've seen that he can't jump that well either, but give him a go. The worst that can happen is we concede a couple because we dropped Hoyt, and you know, we'll learn from that. Other fans are calling for Jan Valery to get a start. Don't expect that. Cedric will be starting at right back, and you know, he had a bad game at Fulham, but I don't think he's a massive scapegoat. That just proves how toxic our fan base is right now. Michael Obafemi also had a good game despite missing a sitter. Gabbiadini had a good little cameo when he came on. Obviously missed the decisive penalty, but I think we kind of are getting to a point where we know who's going to play for us, and we know who's going to sort of have an average, if not good enough, performance. We'll get into teams later on in the week in the preferred 11 video, but I definitely know who I want to be seeing in that starting lineup on Saturday. Now, going on to Saturday, of course, our opponent's Manchester United. Now, I think simply put, they've not been good enough. That's very simply put. They're 7 points off the top 4 already, and it's only been 13 games. They haven't been scoring goals either, really. Defensively, they look quite organised, but their last result in the league was a 0-0 draw at home to Crystal Palace, and I think that just shouts sort of underachievement to me. You know, Crystal Palace are very close to where we are in the table, and it's just not good enough from Mourinho's side. They also had a pretty uninspiring performance midweek in the Champions League, where they had to rely on a late goal from Marouane Fellaini to send them through to the last 16 of the Champions League against Young Boys at home. That's the thing, their performances at home just haven't been inspiring, and I think for Manchester United fans this season, it's just been absolutely dire. Of course, Manchester United do have a lot of attacking threat. I think that's very fair to say. They may not be scoring enough goals, but they can definitely score a couple in a game if their players show up and if the opponents obviously give them the opportunities. Anthony Martial's been awesome. Rashford, you know, he'll miss a couple chances, but he can always put them away. Fred has looked more impressive in midfield, in my opinion. You know, Pogba can come in and out. It depends how Pogba's feeling on the day. The big surprise for me is the lack of form of Romelu Lukaku. Now, he hasn't been scoring enough goals. I can't number how many he's got this season, but I don't think it's actually that many. First touch has been awful again. It seems like he hasn't learned from his mistakes. Last season he had goals, but this season he's got none of it, really. But of course, we know that Lukaku loves a goal against Southampton, especially down at St. Mary's. So if he starts, I think that's something to be definitely wary of. But I think if we go at them, we may have a chance. Now, I'm forever the optimist, of course. We're in the bottom 3. We're not playing well enough. We're not scoring enough. We haven't won enough. But this seems to me like an opportunity, because United United are very average. Now, you look at the teams they've beaten this season, in fairness, they have put in decent performances against most of the sides that are sort of nearer to us in terms of quality. You know, I wouldn't be surprised, obviously, if they came away with a sort of 3-0, 3-1 win. But my point is that we have glimpses of good performance, and then defensively will sort of capitulate, essentially. You look at Fulham, a couple of really good chances created by us, but then 3 really poor moments of defending led to 3 Fulham goals. And I think it could be the same again. I think we really will go at them. Mark Hughes actually doesn't have the worst managerial record of late against his old team that he obviously played for, not managed. Stoke drew at home 2-2 with them last season early on. And they've beaten them a couple times as well of late. So, you know, Mark Hughes obviously had a different squad then, but he may be able to conjure up a bit of magic that somehow we beat Manchester United. Our record at home against Manchester United still isn't very good either. So this game seems to be unpredictable to me. Some fans obviously are writing us off completely, you know, forever the pessimists, but me being forever the optimist, I think we could get something from this. Now that requires a really good performance, the fans backing the team, and Mark Hughes getting it right in terms of team selection. Now the first 2 things are definitely possible. The third thing, you know, we'd have to hope. But look, fans are saying Mark Hughes out, Mark Hughes out. Look, I don't want him around any longer, but he's not going to go. He's not going to go. I'm pretty confident he's not going to be leaving the club until... I think it would have to take another loss to one of the teams around us. So that's going to be probably, if we lost at Cardiff, I think then maybe he would go. But it's the fact that we've got all these fixtures coming up because it's Christmas period with so many important games. And, you know, if a new manager comes in, it's going to take him a while to sort of adapt to the squad. And we're not going to get the results when we crucially need them. Because if you get a run of wins over the Christmas period, you're set for the second half because you've got the confidence, because you've won all those games or gotten results from all those games, and you're ready. And look, it's a shambles at the moment behind the scenes. All we can do, guys, is just get behind the team, and I think we need to do that on Saturday. Make a great atmosphere. I remember, you know, the best atmosphere I heard all season was against Watford when we had a corner. You know, we really knew that we had to win it, and it was the corner that led to Gabbiadini's goal. You know, the loudest I've heard St. Mary's conjured up a goal. So let's make it loud on Saturday. Obviously, it's a 5:30 kickoff. We're on BT Sport. Let's entertain the nation. Why not? We're on TV. Let's do something that really makes people think, wait, why is Southampton in the bottom 3? Because we know we're capable of it. That's the thing. We know we're capable of it. We just have to go out and prove ourselves. Obviously, Manchester United are going to be under a lot of pressure to get a result, as they always are, especially Jose Mourinho. And I think if we start well, Southampton may be able to sniff some blood. But of course, we'd have to put in a fantastic performance if we're going to get a result against Manchester United. However poor they've been this season, they're Manchester United. They can always come out and put in a top-class performance. I'm going to be an optimist and go with a 1-1 draw as my prediction. I think that this could be quite similar to the game that we played against Arsenal around this time last year at home. You know, take the lead very early on. Obviously, we conceded late in that one. We deserved to win that game. But I think it could be something quite similar. You know, a spirited performance against the top side who haven't been doing as well as they really should have been. Let's see what happens. I'm obviously going to be forever the optimist. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Remember to like, share, comment, and mainly subscribe, because we obviously want to grow. Now, the plan is that I will be outside St. Mary's after the game doing a match review, player rating. If people do want an interview, then, you know, I'm happy to do that. It just depends where. So I will keep you all updated on the socials. Go follow them to stay updated. And I'll see you on Saturday, hopefully, after, which we pray is our first home win of the season. Thanks for watching.